Congratulations for the increase to your property taxes. Obviously, this is a joke, and I'm actually making this video because I've had several friends and colleagues and old clients who have reached out about their trim notice. They're telling me they don't know what their trim notice is telling them, other than the fact that they're going to be paying more in taxes. I wanted to take a few minutes to break down exactly how to read your trim notice, and I hope you get some value out of this video. So I'm going to be speaking specifically to the property taxes here in Miami-Dade County. However, the principles apply all throughout the entire state of Florida. While I know this is not the most entertaining topic, with property values increasing the way they have over the last few years, it is undoubtable that the property taxes that you're going to be paying as homeowners have also increased in lockstep. Please don't misconstrue anything that I say in this video as legal advice or financial advice. I am simply a broker, and I'm trying to provide education to the viewers of this video. Alright, so what is the trim notice? Every year, the property appraiser in your county is going to be sending you what's called the Notice of Proposed Property Taxes. They're going to send it to you in the mail. However, you can find it online as well. It's also called the Truth in Millage Act, and I'll explain what millage is in just a minute. But this is basically, it's not your actual tax bill. It's just the property appraiser reaching out to you in advance of your tax bill coming due to let you know what the property taxes are estimated to be under the scenario that the budget is approved for the county that you live in, or the budget is not approved for the county that you live in. Again, you'll be receiving your trim notice by mail, but just in case you haven't received it yet or you've already filed it away, you can access a copy of it by going to the county's property appraisal website for whatever county the property is in. For reference in this video, I'll be using the new home purchased by Jeff Bezos over on Indian Creek Island, and let me explain to you how it is you can find that on the Miami-Dade property appraiser's website. So first, you're going to check out the Miami-Dade property appraiser site. You're going to go to online tools. You'll be clicking on property search. Click on property search again, and then you're going to type in the address for your property. So Jeff Bezos' new home is at 11 Indian Creek Island Road, as reported by The Real Deal. Quick shout out to them. And here is the entry. The reason why you want to search up the property here is because you'll be needing the folio number, and you can be directed to the trim directly from the property's landing page by clicking trim notice, or you can also copy the folio number and take it back to online tools. Then you can click on trim notice. You can click on view real estate trim notice. You can paste the folio number here and click view trim. Going from the property's landing page just before this will also lead you to this landing page as well. You can go either way. When you click on view trim, you're going to receive a PDF document with your trim notice. And now is a good time to pause the video if you want to pull up your own trim notice or you want to find where you filed it away. Alright, so let's get oriented with this document. I know there are a lot of numbers on this page. Try not to get freaked out by it. It's really okay. Take a breath. Most of these figures are going to be repeated numbers of property value estimations. And again, don't forget about it. Don't look too deep into it. Let me walk you through. So up top, you have your property information. And like I said in the beginning, this is not your tax bill. This is simply going to be a notice of the proposed property taxes. Below that, you have the different taxing authorities. You go a little bit further down and you have the information for public hearings based on these tax authorities. You have your NonAd valorem assessments. I'll explain what that means a little bit later on. And then you have a section for the property appraiser and the valuation they've determined your property to be worth, as well as some other reduction and exemptions section at the bottom of the page. So looking first at the first section, the taxing authority section, you have on the left column here the different taxing authorities broken down for your property, followed by 5 different columns of a tax table. The different taxing authorities for this particular property, for Jeff Bezos' property, are going to include Miami-Dade County, public schools, municipal, think of the city. You're going to have your water management, your independent district, and then other voter-approved debt payments. So columns 1 and 3 are just the property appraiser's valuation of your property based on last year and then based on the current year. This is just the valuation for your property, again, column 1 and column 3. You're going to see 2 different values in both of these columns, and that is because the school's taxing authority does levy taxes based on a different valuation of your property than the rest of the taxing authorities. I'll explain a little bit later on why it is they have these 2 valuations. Column 2 has what's called the millage rate. The millage rate is very simple. This is going to be the only math in this video, so if you hold on for about 20 seconds, you can get right through it. Try not to bust your brain over this. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. I'm only including this part for those of the math lovers out there that will actually want to know how this all works. So the millage rate is basically a tax rate on 1/1000th the property value. And so what they do is they equate the property value based on column 1. They take it, divide that number by 1,000, and then they multiply that number by whatever the millage rate is. So in the case of Jeff Bezos' property here, they take that $24,703,894. You divide that by 1,000, and you're going to get 24,703.894. You take that and you multiply it by last year's tax rates, the millage rate of 4.6202, and then you get the taxes due for that specific taxing authority, the county-wide taxing authority in this case, of $114,136 with 93 cents. You repeat the process for all of the taxing authorities at all of the different millage rates. All right, so now there's no more math. If you look at columns 4 and column 5, what they're showing you are the millage rates if the proposed budget is approved, and then the millage rate if the proposed budget is not approved. Again, these millage rates are going to be based off of the column 3 value, which is the current year value of your home. If the budget is not approved, they're going to apply the millage rates that are in column 4, and if the budget is approved, then you're going to apply the millage rates that are in column 5. What I mean by approved is going to be found in the next section. But before we go there, pay attention that there's two values at the bottom of all of these columns. You're going to have one value that is ad valorem, and you're going to have one value that adds the non-ad valorem taxes to that as well. I'm going to explain a little bit later on what that non-ad valorem means and what taxing authorities those apply to. So the section in the middle is going to be for public hearings. The different taxing authorities, they do meet, and they have a public setting. When they do meet, the public is invited to come in to share their opinions, to ask any questions. They will answer any questions, and they have the ability to amend whatever their proposed budget is at this meeting as well. They do, however, at the end of this meeting, vote whether to approve or not approve the proposal for the budget moving forward. Each of the taxing authorities is going to be listed here, along with the date that they're meeting, the contact information for where they're meeting, and the location that they're going to be meeting at as well. All right, then your next section is going to be that non-ad valorem section. And what that basically means is not according to the value of the property. Typically, these taxing authorities, they are ad valorem, which means that they apply based on the value of the property. The millage rate applies to the value of the property. The non-ad valorem means it doesn't matter what your property is worth. It's not based on the property value. These are going to be flat applied across the board. These are commonly applied to what's called community development districts, CDDs, and you'll see those whenever you have a community that has been built recently, and that covers the cost to bring all the infrastructure out to the community itself, like running the streets, running the infrastructure for lighting, for water and sewer, etc. All that stuff, it gets levied as a taxing authority for the community development district. You're also going to see special development districts here for things like maintaining the street lights, maintaining the roads, maintaining the public spaces like parks and landscaping, things of that nature. Lastly, you're going to find here also commonly the PACE taxing authority. This is for your environmental improvements to your home, things like a new roof. There's a PACE program that's been very popular for putting on a new roof, putting on windows and doors, impact windows and doors, putting on solar panels, etc. When that gets applied to your home, that loan comes out as a tax payment on your tax bill that applies, and you'll see it listed here as well. In Jeff Bezos' example, it's the Indian Creek Village Taxing Authority. This is for some capital improvements they're doing in the community that this property is in. All right, hang with me here. We're almost to the end. We are now in the property appraiser section, and this is where you as the homeowner have the most amount of input, separate from where the public hearings are, where you can go and share your opinion and ask questions. This property appraiser section is going to give you an idea of where it is as a homeowner you are able to have input as well. There's going to be two different values here, again, one from last year and one from this year, and it's going to break it down in the school taxing levying authorities, as well as the non-school tax levying authorities. All right, so the property appraiser section is coupled with the reductions and exemptions section of the trim notice. What this basically means is that there is a limitation to how much the assessed value of your home can increase year over year. Again, they use this assessed value to levy these millage rates and charge you your taxes. In the state of Florida, they do limit how much your assessed value can increase year over year. Now, not all taxing authorities have this limitation applied to them. The non-school taxing authorities are the ones that these limitations apply to. The school taxing authority can increase year over year by much more than the non-school related ones. And so you're going to see in this assessment reduction and exemptions form, it's going to be very different. It's property specific. There's a lot of different exemptions that apply. If you are blind, if you have other disabilities, if you are a widow, if it's your homestead, there's a list of them. If you have any questions on these, definitely reach out and I can help you understand what the specific ones that are going to apply to your property are. All right, so now that you have a roadmap to your trim notice, what can you do about the increase to your property taxes? Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do, but if you have certain situations that you're contesting, for example, if you don't believe the value of your home is accurate based on the property appraiser, or if you believe that there are reductions or exemptions that you are entitled to but you didn't receive, you can take that up with the property appraiser. Their contact information is available on your trim notice, and see if they can resolve your issue. If they cannot resolve your issue, you can take it a step further and file a petition to go before the Value Adjustment Board. This is a little bit of a lengthy process, but it is the main avenue that you can pursue if the property appraiser is not helping you or not able to help you with adjusting the property tax assessed value of your home. So if you're going to go this route, make sure you do it quickly, because the deadline to actually get this filed, the petition filed, is September 18th. It's right around the corner. And so again, if you have contacted you don't have to contact the property appraiser and ask them to resolve your issue first. You can go directly to the petition, but it is advisable to go through the property appraiser. It's typically a much simpler process. You're going to be subjected to the entire valuation adjustment board, and that can be a lengthy process. It can also backfire on you, and they can determine that your property is actually worth more than what they've assessed it to be. So again, be cautious if you're going to go that route. Make sure you speak to a real estate professional and get a good understanding of what your options are in the situation. And again, if you are in doubt, definitely contact the property appraiser. They are a fantastic resource here in Miami-Dade County to help you understand not just your trim notice, but also what the options are available to you for the assessed value of your home. For any other information or direction to resources, I encourage you to reach out either by text, by phone call, by email, or through social media, whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to leave all that information in the description of this video, as well as splashing it on the screen as well. If you made it all the way to the end, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I enjoy making these videos as educational and informational resources about the real estate industry, especially here in South Florida. And I'm always welcoming new business from either buyers, sellers, landlords, and renters that are in the state of Florida or that are considering their move down to the beautiful Sunshine State that we are in. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to say your prayers, and until we speak, you guys stay strong. God bless. Bye-bye.